name is Rawls. Remember me. Remember I could have killed you while you slept.
Yeah, I'll also remember you stole my furs.
I take only what is mine.
Daniel Boone. From a coonskin cap on the top of old Dan to the heel of his rawhide shoe, the rippin'est, roaring'est, fighting'est man the frontier ever knew. Daniel Boone was a man, yes, a big man, and he fought for America to make all Americans free. What a boom, what a doer, what a dream come a truer was he.
I got a good look at him in the moonlight. He was Negro, and man, he looked 9 feet tall.
Weren't you just a little scared?
No, I wasn't scared. I was paralyzed. Been having nightmares ever since. Hey, give me another one.
Are you sure that spirit toter didn't come out of a bottle?
A man can't possibly drink enough to start seeing things like that. Can't drink enough to forget it either. But I'm trying.
Did you take many of your furs?
All we had.
What I can't understand is how 3 grown men would just lie there and let somebody come along and steal their furs without even firing a shot.
Did you ever try touching off a rifle without having any powder in the priming pan?
No, can't say that I have.
Well, I have. It don't work.
Someday when you have a little spare time, I'll be glad to show you the proper way to load a gun.
You can laugh if you want to. But those guns were loaded when we went to sleep. He made very sure that he emptied all the pans before he woke us up.
Did you say he woke you up?
I did.
Are you trying to tell us he did it on purpose?
I hope to kiss a pig he did.
That don't make any sense.
No sense at all. Seems like he wanted to make dead sure we got a good look at him, so there wouldn't be any doubt about who robbed us. Rawls, he called himself. Said it real loud so we'd remember it.
Well, seems like he told you everything else. He didn't happen to mention where he was from or where he was going.
I didn't get a chance to ask him. By the time I got my gun loaded, he was gone.
He must have left some tracks.
Oh, he did. They went one way and I went the other.
Seems to me you'd followed him just out of curiosity.
And take a chance on getting him annoyed? Man, I don't aim to die with a spear sticking in my back.
You just said that he could have killed you in your sleep if that's what he had in mind.
He let me go the first time. Why should I press my luck?
I thought I'd heard of every fur thief between here and New Orleans. But that's the first time I ever heard of any Negroes. What do you make of this, Daniel?
A runaway slave. Thing I can't figure out is what he'd want with furs. Not any place he can sell them.
Unless he's trading with the Indians.
No, I'm sure I would have heard.
Or somebody selling them for him.
Now, that's possible.
You got any idea who that somebody is, Daniel?
Nope. But I got an idea it'd be good to find out. You got any spare pelts around?
Well, got a whole storehouse full. Why?
Get me a couple of bundles of prime beaver.
What for?
Well, if you're going to trap a bear, you need some bait.
Now, wait just a minute. I paid good money for them furs. How do I know I'll get it back?
You don't? You go ahead and get them, Cincinnati, so I'll pick them up in an hour or so.
But Daniel,
Does he figure he can bring Rawls in all alone?
That's the way it sounded.
He's crazy.
You'd be surprised how many people in the past have had that idea, and how many of them were wrong. See you soon, Cincinnatus.
Mingo? Well, you gonna pay me for this, or are we gonna scuffle for it?
I packed an extra pair of moccasins just in case.
It's a good thing I've got you to look out after me.
Well, somebody has to, or you're apt to come home barefoot.
You're traveling awfully light this time, aren't you, Dan?
Well, I've got a pack of pelts to tote.
I still wish you wouldn't go alone.
There's less chance of anybody getting hurt that way.
I guess I don't have to tell you to be careful.
I guess I don't have to tell you to watch out after the young'uns.
It's a pity Azuriel isn't here. But I told him he could stay for supper at the Bakefuls.
You say goodbye for me.
And to you from him.
And you watch out after your ma, young lady.
I will.
I'll keep a light burning in the window so you won't lose your way.
I'll be looking for it.
Oh, and keep your powder dry.
Rawls is coming up the trail.
You alone?
As far as I can tell.
Well, make sure he isn't being followed.
Yeah, it looks like he made quite a haul this time.
Yeah, that's more than one man's catch he's carrying.
Will that make any difference?
Well, it means he's got a few more people on his tail. Sooner or later, somebody's bound to trail him here.
Well, that's easy to fix.
Put that gun down. He's not worth anything to his dead.
That's quite a bit of gold he's got in that little sack he's wearing on his belt.
Yeah, there's also a price on his head.
How long you known that?
Since I took that last load of furs into Salem.
Why you keep it to yourself?
Because one of you would have tried to take him in by now, lost us all the money he's brought in on furs.
But when do we sell him back?
When I decide it's time.
Not bad, not bad.
All prime pelt.
All right. Give you 10 guineas for the lot.
They're worth 10 times as much.
Take it or leave it.
I'll take it as I always do.
How long before you get your passage money saved?
In a few more months.
This ship's captain who said he'd sell you passage.
He's a thief just like you.
How do you know he won't take your money and then turn you in for the reward?
For the same reason you don't.
And what's that?
He's a coward, too.
No thieving slave can talk to me like that.
Neither thief nor slave. I'm a free man, and I intend to stay that way. You want more furs?
Still on the market. Morrison. Keep an eye on him. I don't want him running out of this. And I don't want anybody else to get that bounty.
Well, why don't we take him now? He's about outlived his usefulness as far as we're concerned.
No, not now. Time's not right.
You mean it's still daylight, don't you? He might see you coming.
What do you mean by that?
Well, now, I might mean I think that Rawls has got you scared.
What's going on out here?
Nothing. He just got his hackles up a little bit. Now go stick on his tail like I told you. It's worth too much to us to let him get away.
Rebecca?
Mingo!
Rebecca?
How wonderful to see you.
Yeah, let me help you with that.
Oh, thank you. Oh, what a fine turkey. Can you stay for supper? The children will be home soon.
Oh, I'm afraid not. I just stopped by to see if there were any word from Daniel.
Uh-huh, and to bring a turkey, just in case we didn't have enough to eat.
Oh, I had to kill him in self-defense. And I didn't want him to go to waste.
They do get rather dangerous this time of the year.
You haven't heard anything from Daniel, then?
No, but that's not unusual.
Did he say where he was going when he left?
Not definitely. Oh, he did say something about the headwaters of the Little Piney.
Oh, well, I may run across him then. I was planning a little hunting trip tomorrow.
Are you worried about Dan?
Me? Worried about Daniel? Why, certainly not, no. The man he was hunting is a fur thief, but thus far he hasn't tried to harm any of his victims. No, I would say I'm more curious than worried.
Wake up. Wake up.
Where'd you come from?
My name is Rawls.
Mine's Boone. Daniel Boone. Glad to know you.
Aren't you afraid of me?
Why should I be afraid of you? If you meant to kill me, you'd have done it while my back was turned to you.
I have your furs.
I see. I'd like to talk
Stay
to you.
where you are.
Besides, those furs you're stealing don't even belong to me.
I'm not a thief.
I guess that depends on how you look at it. But from where I'm sitting, you look like a thief to me.
Is it thieving for men to take what is rightfully his?
Well, no, I don't suppose it is.
Then I'm not a thief. The white man took my freedom and brought me to this country. I want my freedom back. I want to see my home again. These are my rights, and I'm claiming them the only way I can.
You make it sound sort of logical. The only thing is, by taking something you say belongs to you, you're taking something that belongs to somebody else.
Roll.
Now, You just lay that long-handled pig sticker down before I blow a hole in you big enough to walk through. Saved us both a lot of trouble if you hadn't been so pig-headed. Nasty-looking cut. Better clean that up a little. You know, I've been kicked by mules. Didn't pack the punch you have in your fist. Feel like talking?
Where's my goal?
It's right here.
And you call me a thief?
Well, you'll do till one comes along. Now, about this gold, I wasn't planning on stealing it.
Why'd you take it then?
Well, I was considering giving it back to the men whose fur you stole if I could find out who they are.
I don't know their names.
Well, now, that's what I call indiscriminate thievery. At least you didn't rob any of your friends.
I have no friends.
Well, that's easy to understand. What have you been carrying on?
Who'd be friends to a slave except another slave?
know. I never thought much about it. How come your name is Rawls? Is that your master's name?
I have no master.
Well, that may be true, but you've got somebody willing to pay a lot of money to get you back.
For a while, I thought you might be different.
Different from who?
From all the white men who turned me in for the reward.
You might have been right about that. I'm not interested in the reward.
Why'd you set a trap for me, then?
Well, you might say I'm dead set against thievery.
How else would I get passage money back to Africa?
Well, you might try working, a little honest trapping.
Where would I sell my furs?
Same place you've been selling them. Which brings up a good question. Where have you been selling them?
To a man named Charbon.
So Charbon's back.
You know him?
In a manner of speaking. I ran him out of the territory once 2 or 3 years ago. Don't suppose he overpaid you?
No.
And I'm surprised he didn't turn you in.
He would have, given enough time.
Where's he hiding out?
In a cave not far from here.
You can show me in the morning.
Why should I?
Well, maybe you'd like to get your gold back.
How do I know you'll give it back to me?
You don't. But you can try it and find out. You're going to have a little trouble sleeping all tied up like that. If I were to turn you loose, would you give me a word not to try to get away? Well, I was afraid you'd take an attitude like that. You may need this more than I do. It's apt to get a little cold before the sun comes up.
You giving me your blanket?
I don't want you to freeze to death. I got an idea you'll lead me to Charbon in the morning. You stubborn son of a gun. I admire your gumption, but you're not going to get back to Africa that way.
I ask no help from you. Let me be.
Well, if I do, you're going to die.
At least I die a free man, not a slave.
And you haven't told me where Charbon is yet.
Find him for yourself.
I probably could do that, but it'd take me a little longer. First, what do you say we have some breakfast?
Don't wake the others. There's a chance we might be moving soon. What are you doing here? I thought I told you not to lose that slave.
I didn't lose him.
And why'd you come back?
Somebody took him.
What do you mean, somebody took him?
Will you let me get my breath? I have been traveling all night.
You can rest later. I want to know who took him. How many of them were there?
Just one man.
One man. And you let him get away with it.
That's right. I let him get away with it. And you would have, too. His name happens to be Daniel Boone.
Boone? And what would he want with a runaway slave?
Well, I didn't ask him.
Boone? Who is this Boone you're talking about?
I asked Chauvin. Daniel and him are old friends.
Well, who is it?
Oh, he's a farmer from over on the Kentuck River. I owe him a little debt from some years back.
You owe him a bigger one now. Looks like he gone and stole our bounty money.
You know, it might be he done us a favor after all. Give me a drink of rum, Hopper. I got a little thinking to do.
It's gonna be easier than we thought. Take a look.
I'll take your word for it.
Africa. After fighting him a few more times, I'll be glad to pay his fare. If I untie you, will you give me your word not to try to get away?
You'll never take me back.
Mingo, he's just plain unreasonable.
Seen any tracks, Natus, or any sign of her?
No, nothing yet.
Over here!
You found something?
Found Mima's basket. Looks like somebody might have waited for her here.
It does at that.
Over here, boys! Now, I found her tracks and the tracks of somebody else. Now, they don't tell us much. But there ain't no use wasting time here tonight. We'll meet at first light and start trailing then.
Good night, boys.
Who is it?
It's me, Cincinnatus.
You didn't find her?
Nope. We found enough to know that she ain't been hurt. Leastwise, not by an animal. Tell you the truth, Becky. We're afraid she's been kidnapped.
Kidnapped?
That's the way it looks.
Why?
I don't know. Somebody must have a real good hate for you or Daniel.
Yes. Yes, of course. Oh, Cincinnatus, you must be dead tired. Sit down and I'll get you a drink. Dan has some rum around here someplace.
I'd be mighty grateful. Israel asleep?
Yes.
Yeah, looks to me like you could use a little sleep yourself, Becky.
It's asking quite a lot, isn't it?
I reckon so. And I reckon further, if you don't mind, I'll just spend the night right here, just in case.
Thank you, Cincinnatus. I'll get you some supper.
I hate to do this, but this is the only way I can make sure you'll still be here in the morning.
Tell me something. How can you and an Indian be friends?
What's so peculiar about that?
You're not the same color, or the same race. Your people fight against each other.
Well, a man's what he is regardless. I don't think race or color has anything to do with it.
And you? What about you?
If I were blind and you were to touch my hand, how could I possibly know the color of your skin?
Does that answer your question?
I don't know. White man sold me into slavery. How could I ever be his friend?
Well, I don't like all Indians, for that matter. Depends on what you're looking for.
Would you die for your Indian friend?
I can answer that. Daniel has saved my life many times. And at the risk of his own.
It goes both ways.
Maybe someday I will have a friend.
Boone? Daniel Boone?
Who are you?
You don't know me, but I got word for you from Charbon.
Charbon.
He's holding your daughter. Can I come in and talk?
Come on in. Now, what's this about my daughter?
Charbon's got her. He wants to make a deal with you.
Daniel, wait. You'd better hear him out.
All right, I'm listening.
Well, Charbon figures you were cutting in on his territory when you caught the slavey here. He's willing to make a trade.
What kind of trade?
Your daughter for Rawls and all the furs you got.
How do I know you're not lying?
Did you ever see that before?
Jemima's locket.
Then I guess we understand each other.
What do you want with Rawls?
He's worth a lot of money, Mr. Boone. Ain't that why you trapped him? It makes no difference. Well, do we make a deal?
Deal's not mine to make.
Why not? He belongs to you, don't he?
It's something I don't think you'd understand.
It's your daughter.
It's a deal.
Do you know what that means to you?
I know.
Why?
Maybe that's something you wouldn't understand. I'm ready.
Well, let's stop wasting time. Cut him loose.
Mingo? He stays here until I see Jemima alive and well.
That's fair enough. I'll take you to Charbon. You two stay here. But I'll take the guns just in case you get any wild ideas.
Will he be coming back?
Well, that's up to Charbon.
If he doesn't, how can we tell if the girl is safe?
He'll bring Jemima to you, Mingo. Or the deal's off.
Do you agree?
I agree.
Mingo.
Yes?
This is a trick to get Boone alone. Charbon will kill him.
I know.
Is this your kind of friendship that you offer him no help?
Give me some time. They could be watching me now to see what I intend to do.
Do you know where they're going?
No.
You can't track them in the dark.
I can try.
What are you going to do with me?
I'll leave you here. If the girl is safe, I'll keep the bargain.
And if she isn't?
I'll set you free.
Set me free now. I give you my word I won't try to run. I want you to take my word for it. You can put away the knife.
I took your word.
We don't have much time.
Time for what?
I know where Charbon is.
Why didn't you tell me before I turned you loose? I might not have done it.
And your friend might have died. A man's word of honor isn't bought. It's given.
I must remember that. Let's go.
Here, have some of this.
I don't want it.
Oh, now that's no way to act. Nobody gonna hurt you.
They better not. Because if they do and my pa finds out about it, they'll be awful sorry.
So how about some supper?
No.
All right, have it your own way.
Pa! Oh, Pa, I'm so glad to see you.
It's all right. Everything's gonna be all right. They haven't hurt you, have they?
No, they haven't hurt me. It's just that I was so scared.
There's no need to be scared any longer.
It's been a long time.
Not long enough.
Yes, sir, a long time. Unfortunately, I'm a patient man.
Well, I'm not. He made a bargain with me. Are you going to keep it?
I don't know what it was. Oh, there's lots of time for that. Sit down, have some supper with us. Then I'll make up my mind just what to do with you.
You go outside, Jemima, while we have a talk.
What are you doing out here?
My pa told me to come out.
Well, I guess it's all right. Don't stray too far and don't try running.
Well, then our agreement is that I'll let the girl go in exchange for Rawls. Is that right?
That's right.
But nothing was said about you.
No.
Well, aren't you interested in knowing what I got in mind for you?
I'm only interested in knowing that my daughter gets home safely.
Time up, Mawson.
Sound, Jemima.
Remember the last time we met? Well, I remember it very well.
How do you feel?
All right.
Takes a lot of lead to kill a free man.
A free man?
This belonged to Charbon. He won't be needing it now. Reckon there's enough to pay your passage home.
I've dreamed of this for a long time. I'd like to thank you, but I don't know how.
We'll talk about that when you're better. Right now, you need some rest.
How much better can a man feel, Mr. Boone?
My friends call me Daniel.
Daniel, how much better can a man feel?
Daniel Boone was a man, yes, a big man, with an eye like an eagle and as tall as a mountain was he. Daniel Boone was a man, yes, a big man. He was brave, he was fearless, and as tough as a mighty oak tree. From the coonskin cap on the top of old Dan to the heel of his rawhide shoe, the rippenest, roaringest, fightingest man the frontier ever knew. Daniel Boone was a man, yes, a big man, with an eye like an eagle and as tall as a mountain was he.